it's Monday, it's another week, it's time for another weekly reading vlog. I am in such a good reading mood. Hopefully that means there's going to be a lot read this week. I have just so many books that I'm really enjoying, that I'm in the middle of, and so many books I'm excited to read. So I will of course be first of all continuing Door of the Moon Goddess. I haven't really read much more since my last vlog, but this is definitely going to be a priority. I have work today and tomorrow, and then I have Wednesday, Thursday off, and my goal is to try and finish it by the end of Thursday. I am so excited for this. Then I need to try and start some of the library books I have, because they're gonna go back in like a week or so and I haven't read them. We have Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. I have not read any Riley Sager. All I know about this is that it's like a haunted house sort of thriller. A lot of people have compared it to The Haunting of Hill House, which is why this one piqued my interest, because I love that TV show so much. And I also do want to make a start on Not That Bad, edited by Roxane Gay. I think I'll take this one quite slowly though. Like, I think I might start this one this week but not finish it, because it is a book that discusses rape culture and that's heavy, so I don't want to take that all in one go. But for my audiobook, I am currently in the middle of Finley Donovan Knocks Them Dead, which is the sequel to Finley Donovan is Killing It. I listened to the audiobook of book 1 last month because I found that this book made it to a lot of people's best books of 2021, so I was curious and I really enjoyed book 1. We basically follow this mother who's in the middle of getting a divorce with her husband. She's 31, she has 2 young children. She is the most accident-prone character I have ever read about, and it makes for such a funny and quirky story. She is an author and she writes crime romances, I believe, like the genre of books she writes in is called. And she has a meeting with her editor one day. This meeting takes place at a restaurant and someone overhears her conversation with the editor and completely misunderstands it, because the way they were talking about the book, they were talking about murder, they were talking about, like, you know, stuff going on in the book. Basically, she ends up getting hired as a hit woman when she's not a hit woman. The whole story just unfolds from there and it's just like chaotic and so much fun. I really enjoyed it. It's just like, it's ridiculous. Like, it's just ridiculous, but like in the best way possible. It's such a good time. So this is a sequel that I'm listening to at the moment, book 2, which has just come out this month. These books are so easy to consume. I literally started listening to the audiobook last night and I think I only have like 3 hours left. So easy, so quick, so fast, so fun. The perfect sort of book I would recommend if you are feeling like getting in a reading slump or whatever. I think these are really good like pick-me-ups. Like, it's just a fun time. So I'm definitely going to be finishing that probably first because I'm getting through it so quickly. But yeah, nothing else to really update on for now. Hello, it is Thursday, so it's been a few days since I've updated you. I don't really plan with these casual reading vlogs to update you every day. I hope that's okay, but I do have reading updates. I finished Finley Donovan Knocks Them Dead and I loved it. I gave it 4 stars. I don't know if I prefer book 1 or book 2. They're both just so fun, so action-packed, a little bit ridiculous. Like, you definitely have to suspend your belief. Is that how you say it? Is that the phrase? I think that's the phrase. Yeah, there's definitely like moments that are unbelievable and like plot points that are unbelievable, but I think because it's like a comedy, like thriller murder mystery story and it doesn't take itself too seriously, it works, you know, and you just kind of forgive and just, you're there for the ride. It doesn't matter that things don't always line up or things happen too easily. for the convenience of moving along the plot, because it doesn't take itself too seriously, you know what I mean? It's just a fun time. I also find that this book is kind of meta because the protagonist is also an author, and she is a thriller, like romance author, that uses a lot of inspiration to what's happening in her current life for her books, which is interesting. But I also feel like it's going to get her into some trouble down the track because she's involved in all these crimes and things that she shouldn't be, and it's such a mess, but it's like the best fun mess ever. I just love the drama of it. It's just like so entertaining. And I don't know how many books are going to be in the series, but the way this one ended, there's definitely going to be a sequel, and I'm sad because it's probably going to be like a year until this next book comes out, since this one, the second one, just came out. But it was so fun. I loved it. I actually had big plans for today. It was going to be a filming day in the morning, and then in the afternoon I was going to like edit and hopefully get a sit down video up tonight. But I've decided, after getting all ready, I'm not going to film any sit down videos. I'm just really not in the mood today, and I find when I film when I'm not in the mood, I just hate the footage afterwards, and then like it's torture to try and edit. So I really just want to read and chill. I think I'm just going to focus on Daughter of the Moon Goddess. I haven't really read much more, and I've been meaning to read more, so that is what we're going to do today. Just read and enjoy and relax. One of my neighbors out with something, and she very kindly gave me this as like a thank you. I had never had these crispy coconut rolls before, and now I am obsessed. They're so good. Literally the perfect reading snack. I need to go buy more of these. I'm obsessed. But reading update. I've made some really good progress with Daughter of the Moon Goddess. I'm about 350 something pages into this. I'm on part 3. The end of part 2, full of action, full of intense scenes where our characters were in danger and we're forced to make difficult choices. I did talk a little bit about the plot of this book in my last vlog, but in case you missed that, I will quickly summarize. We follow a girl who is the daughter of the moon goddess, and her mother is in prison on the moon, essentially for something she did wrong. The daughter ends up finding herself having to run away from the prison because her mother's supposed to be there alone. Her being isolated is a part of her imprisonment. So when the daughter flees, she's on a quest to figure out how to free her mother, and she eventually finds herself in the palace, and she is a companion to the prince. She studies with him, trains with him, and he is the prince of those who imprisoned her mother. So a little bit of, you know, problem happening there. I do think that sometimes there's a lack of plot and a lack of direction in the story, but I'm really just liking it. Like, I love the main character, I love what's happening, I love the world, I love all the magical beings. Like, there's mer people, there's like fox spirits, there's mentions of like dragons and phoenixes. It's just so magical. It's giving me very similar vibes to Stardust by Neil Gaiman. Not the book, but the movie version. I don't like the book, I do not acknowledge the book, but the movie is amazing, one of my favorite movies of all time. Plot and everything is so different for both the stories, but the vibes and the feeling both the stories give me, that magical, enchanting sort of feeling where you get swept up in a completely different world. But I love how also both of these worlds, the magical one is right beside the non-magical one. I love that combination, and that's what these two stories have in common. I really enjoy her banter with Leeway, the prince. Like, I also just love how fairy tale-esque this is. I love the writing. I feel so swept up in this story. I've been editing the start of this vlog up until now, and I realized I said like on Thursday I wanted to finish this book by. That obviously didn't happen, but it's going to happen by the end of the week. This week's honestly just somehow gotten away from me. I don't know where it's gone. Like, it's just disappeared. Mark on my chest. That's from Archie. When I lift him and he puts his paw there. My skin's so sensitive, it just like flares up. Like, it doesn't hurt or anything. I'll put a scarf on and it just goes red. Alarmingly red. I finished Daughter of the Moon Goddess, and I really enjoyed this. What I loved about this book was, for an adult fantasy, was it was so lighthearted. It wasn't gritty, it wasn't gruesome, it wasn't intense or too complicated, but it just took like all the fun elements of fantasy. Like, it had action, it had dramatic bits, it had just so much magic. I think that was definitely my favorite component of the story, was the magic, especially the magic that was within the setting. I love just magical worlds and the magical creatures within those worlds, and sort of all the problems and whatever else comes along with those sort of creatures. I really loved that. I also did like the romance. I did think I was going to get a little bit more on board with the love triangle, but I was pretty much one-sided the entire time. Well, yeah, I was one-sided the entire time. I didn't care for one of the love interests like at all. Like, not that I didn't care for him, I didn't care for him as a love interest. I did like the character though. I really like the twist as well. There's a twist at the end. I love how a lot of the story came back to family, and this girl was doing everything she possibly could for her mother. When I first heard of this book, I thought it was YA, but it is adult, and now having read it, I will say that it has a lot of similarities to YA, and I don't mean to say that in a way that is negative or in a way that's to critique the book in any certain way. I really liked that. It was a very comforting, fun time like YA. I think a lot of readers who trying to branch out from reading YA and want to get into adult fantasy, this would definitely be a book I would recommend to them. It's a good bridge book, I think. It being a very character focused and central story is what makes it, I think, quite similar to a lot of YAs, especially YAs I read growing up. And my final rating is 4 stars. So I had a really good week of like dramatic and entertaining books that are in 2 very different genres with 2 very different stories, but both with 4 stars and new favorites that I definitely recommend. So overall, a good reading week. I unfortunately didn't get to even start any of my library books, which is a little bit of a problem because they are due like in a few days. Ugh. I'm going to end the vlog here. If you've made it up to here, leave me a flower emoji, you know, the pink flower that looks quite similar to the one on the cover here. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm really enjoying these weekly reading vlogs. I'm actually finding them very therapeutic to edit. Like, I don't know, very good vibes. So hopefully this video gives you similar vibes. That's my hope at least. But I hope you're well. I hope you have a lovely week, and I hope to see you next time. Oh, and I hope you're enjoying whatever you're reading at the moment. Bye!